Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 1st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, we are looking at SMCI. Crazy move today, big gap down, but to give credit where credit's due, the price did make a very nice move. So to think that at one point the price was down here, then all of a sudden it worked its way all the way up there. Good solid move, but that does lead to the valid question, is there any sort of genuine power? Is there any sort of true strength behind this price movement? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it all has to do with this area right here. Let's make that green for support. But this area right there at $29.50. Why is that so important? Well, hopefully we can all agree with the idea that price movements with genuine power are going to make progress forward. Not go straight up, but at least make signs of progress. So what I mean, well, let's say the price comes down here, behaves like that, and then starts to curl back upwards. What would you have in this situation? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have lows right here. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, well, now you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. Again, that's what a truly strong move is going to do. On the flip side, if the price comes down here and then just breaks down through there, what would you then have? Well, you would have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go right back to where they started, not exactly a sign of genuine true strength. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why, in my opinion, that 29.50 mark, very, very important. So no doubt about it today, very impressive bounce. Is there genuine strength behind this bounce? Is there true power? Well, let's see if the price can start to show signs of progress. And again, the quote-unquote sign of progress being defined as $29.50. Next one here, WW, and overall the chart's hanging in there. Now there is a little bit of perspective. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, things are looking a little bit shaky. But all in all, the chart's hanging in there. It's building higher highs. It's building higher lows. So I want to get a couple of key levels drawn in. So first part here to keep an eye on, at least in my opinion, is this trend line here, pretty well defined. And then on top of that, we have this lower trend line, which you see right there. And this is where things, I don't want to say are ruined because they're not, but you do have to keep in mind that this is an area of support. And as of right now, the price has actually gone a little bit below it. Now, that's what I mean. Does that mean the entire chart's destroyed or epically, ruined or anything like that? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, as long as the price continues to stay above that purple line right there, which is the 50-period simple moving average, keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, this line here is going to move itself higher and higher. So as long as the price stays above there, then from the overarching standpoint, the price and the chart is still perfectly fine. Preferably, it would have been much nicer had the price been able to stay above that level right there. But again, not the end of the world because the price has fallen down below it. But now if the price comes down to the purple line and then crashes down through there, that's where the conversation needs to start to change a little bit. But as of right now, not the most preferable situation, but from an overarching standpoint, still plenty bullish. Next one here, IVF. And we have a nice pattern here, so let's just get this drawn into play. If you've been watching the past videos over the few days, we've had this pattern show up a whole lot. But nonetheless, still a nice pattern. Get this down a little bit. Change that to green for support. And then just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers, let me get a little more visual for you. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go up. But would it shock anybody if the price ultimately bounces off the lower part, comes up here, breaks through it, and then gets more continuation? Would that be shocking? I don't think anybody would be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Again, that's not what's for sure going to happen, but I don't think it would catch anybody off guard. But at the end of the day, if you like this price range, if you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, NVNI, and not a whole lot I can talk about this one currently from a resistance standpoint because we are essentially in blue sky breakout territory as I speak. That's why I like to use when the markets are open. Last 30 minutes, this thing, big green candle, and is pushing to new highs essentially as I talk. So at the end of the day, though, from a trading standpoint, this has the two key ingredients that we want. It's got great volume and it's got very nice price action. So, other than that, not a whole lot can be said. Now, I can, comment some on the support areas. So if you want to play more so pullbacks, an ideal level that would make the chart look the strongest now moving forward would be at the 35-cent mark. But again, if the price falls below 35 cents, that does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. Because as I mentioned previously, keep an eye on that purple line there, which you now know is a 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, again, if you want to just envision that as a trend line that's going to draw itself for you, then as long as the price stays above the trend line, then the overall trend is still plenty in the bullish direction. But as far as areas of resistance are concerned, I mean, just buying right here would make me nervous. That feels sort of like a chase, but if it can pull back a little bit, then at that point you can start to have discussions such as, okay, it's pulling back, but we have that move right there. Okay, maybe it gives us a bull flag, bull pennant pattern. But like I said, limited in all that you can discuss given just the nature of how it's exploded this final 30 minutes and just continues to build momentum. But all in all, if you like penny stocks, certainly an interesting looking chart. Next one here is NVIDIA, and man, this thing had been doing very well. Had the nasty gap down here, but once again, to be fair, from where it was here to where it closed, good solid move, but that does bring up that question. Is there any sort of genuine power? So I'm going to go through this quicker because you already heard me discuss the logic. So we just need to find that quote-unquote progress point. That area where if the price can stay above it, then you would still have progress. And in my opinion, that level is right here, that 200-period moving average at the pink line. Because again, if the price were to come down to that area, generally speaking, behave like that, and then curl back upwards, as far as progress, well, you'd have a low right there. You'd have that low, and you still got those stair steps in the upwards direction. So in terms of the answering the question, is this genuinely strong? Well, where's the progress point? Well, progress point being defined right there at 105. We'll just call it 50 for right now. In terms of levels of resistance, definitely the key level that's looming up overhead is that purple line there, 50-period moving average, right now valued at 108.25. And if the price can push up through there, then yeah, I would say you have a shot at potentially making an attempt to back up there to that 110.25 mark, which is that former area of resistance. But one step, oh wow, as I speak, check that out. Boom. Oh, now pushing up above there. So NVIDIA having a very good final 30 minutes here. So we'll see if they can push through that area. Market closes in 10 minutes. But if it can push through there, then like I said, next key area to watch would be one up there at 110.25. Real quick, I want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area you can use to click on, or if you're watching right at my website itself, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, SNAP, Snapchat, and overall, rough day with the gap down, but like a lot of these, it is bouncing upwards. So I'm going to start to go through these quicker because yes, very solid bounce. Is it a truly strong bounce? Well, let's figure out our quote unquote progress point. And in this situation, I would call that down here right around $7.57. Because if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, all of a sudden you have the price having gone right back to where it was, which as we've established, not exactly a sign of genuine power. So yes, as long as the price can stay above 757 moving forward, then you can make the argument that the price is still showing signs of progress, which is what it's all about. And then in terms of areas of resistance, seems to be pretty straightforward. That pink line there, 200-period moving average. Price never hit it exactly right there, but got somewhat close to it. And then even right here, price got somewhat close to it. Didn't quite, get up to it. But nonetheless, I would definitely keep a close eye on that, as that 805 mark right now seems to be the key battleground. But all in all, to be fair, good solid bounce. Is there genuine power behind the bounce? Let's see if the price can show us some progress. Next one, JFBR, and very interesting late day here. I always like these setups where you have a big start, and then it pulls back and pulls back and pulls back. And, right around here, it becomes very valid to say, uh-oh. Is this a gap and trap? Is this a pump and dump? What's going on? But all of a sudden, this one you can see leveled out here. And now all of a sudden, it's starting to curl back upward. So now we get to ask ourselves a very, always, or at least for me, interesting question. And that question is this. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But something worthwhile is happening. Had the nasty pullback, had the leveling out, and now you have it curling back up. So yes, to be fair, maybe this isn't the start of anything bigger. Maybe this thing is all of a sudden going to just roll right back over. But also, to be fair, it is a two-sided coin. So, maybe this is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. So all in all, if you like this price range, I would definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, PLUG, and this fits in just kind of good from a lesson standpoint. While I'm not going to say that everything is totally ruined, I will say that this one is knocking on the doors of just being a pure and utter pump and dump. Let me make that green, and this is what I would say is the line in the sand. What is it? Oh, did I grab the wrong line? We'll get rid of that. I was so confused for a second. There we go. And this is what I mean with all these other ones. Amazing move. But now look what it's been doing. Down, 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 down. And if it goes even down further, then that is officially at pump and dump territory. Pump and dump being defined as a price makes an awesome move and then goes right back to where it started. So if it comes back down to this area, again, being defined as below 84 cents, that has put it right back in this range where it was before the big explosive move up. So if you have not connected those dots, 84 cents, definitely a must hold area. Because, like I said, if it does not hold above there, then people can just very, evidence-based say, yeah, that was a total pump and dump. Huge explosion, and then it just dumped right back to where it was. Now, to be fair, it is trying to hang above there, but that is definitely what I'd say is that do or die level. If the price does try to continue on up, two main areas of resistance to watch very closely. Initial level going to be that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, and then next key level after that, not that far away, the big brother, the 200-period moving average. But yeah, things are definitely looking shaky right now. And we'll see if the price can continue to hold above 84 cents or not. Next one here, PLTR. And I did get this right. Yesterday's video, if you watched it, talked about how this rising wedge pattern here had formed. And the rising wedge suggests the pullback. And that's exactly what happened. Pullback all the way down to here to the 50-period moving average. But what was also very, very impressive is the recovery. As I talked about with a lot of these stocks, they have recovered very nicely. So I'm going to get rid of that trend line right there as it serves its purpose. But I'm actually very curious about this because if I extend this out, you can see this trend line is still totally in play. So again, this was the trend line that I mapped out yesterday, but when I extend it out, you can see right there, rejected the price. And even right now, as I speak, the price is currently struggling right at that area. So what I would argue, not a coincidence at all in terms of why the price is all of a sudden kind of struggle right where it is. But the good situation is the price is knocking on the door. So in my opinion, at least the big question moving into tomorrow will be, can the price actually break above that level and then get more continuation? So it's step one is occurring right now. It's knocking on the door, but can the door be knocked through? And then can the bulls build more momentum is what I would keep an eye on from that standpoint. And then as far as supports, even if it doesn't, even if it comes back down, as long as the price continues to hold above that purple line, which it did a beautiful job of this morning, then overall, the overarching chart is still perfectly fine and bullishly healthy. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and a nasty, nasty move. I mean, you just think about it yesterday, late day, last 30 minutes, price breaking up through that key resistance, price starting to get upside momentum, and then today, all of a sudden, boom, gap down. Now, to be fair, the price has started to recover like a lot of these, but nonetheless, for the people that were buying that breakout and feeling all great about things, they were definitely very disappointed today. But nonetheless, nothing has changed in terms of resistance levels. 288.50 remains a key battleground to watch very closely in terms of areas where the sellers may still be hanging out. And then, like I've mentioned previously, this has had a nice bounce in the upwards direction. And I think the easy way to just gauge that, not necessarily a progress point, but we could just throw right in a trend line and then just say, as long as the price can stay above that trend line, then overall the price is by definition making higher bases because that's what's going to be required. The only way to stay above a trend line that's moving upwards is, well, the price doesn't have to necessarily go straight up, but it's got to put in those higher bases. So keep an eye on that from a support standpoint. But yeah, disappointing, very disappointing, with that breakout there. But from a big picture standpoint, you can see the price still hanging in there. It's still overall up at higher bases. So if you look at, where these former bases were, even down here, it is still overall going in the upwards direction. But yeah, today, that right there, pretty savage move. So that wraps up the top 10 lists. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you enjoy these, please hit that like button. And if you have a couple extra moments, leaving a comment down below really helps out with the algorithm. And I thank you in advance for doing so. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you get signed up for that free class. And hopefully I'll be seeing you soon.